All right. Extra noise. Hello, mighty companions online and mighty companions here in the room. I'm Earl Purdy, and I want to welcome you to a course in miracles, which is a course in right thinking. I need right thinking, and I need to do right thinking. And the Course in Miracles is a course in right thinking because it teaches that if we have right thinking, it is a miracle. That if we love each other and look at each other correctly without going off, without getting upset, without guilt, without fear, it's a miracle. If we forgive people for what we think they have done to us and realize that they haven't done anything to us actually, the Course in Miracles says that's a miracle. And we've been talking about the little willingness. That what is it that Spirit is asking us to have in order to have the resolution and the healing that we want to have? It says it wants us to have a little willingness. A little willingness. And it also told us that, but you must want it, and you must want that peace and want that joy above everything else. I have to want my peace above wanting to get angry. A person has to want their peace more than they want to get angry. And the Course in Miracles says whatever it is, you want to have it above all else. So what I love about this is I want to hear what it's saying, and 44 years in, what I have learned is that if a person can just remember what the Course is trying to tell them, if a person can just remember what the Course in Miracles is telling them, it heals their mind. If you can let yourself really hear what it's saying and then use the interpretations that it's giving you to use, if you use the interpretations that the Course in Miracles is giving you of what you're going through, if a person uses the Course in Miracles interpretation of what they're going through, then the Course in Miracles says it will heal their mind, and it will also heal your perception of the situation that's causing you upset. So in order for a person to get rid of their upset, then they have to interpret the thing that's upsetting them differently. Mm-hmm. Is everybody with me on that? Yes. If you're going to change the way you feel about something, you've got to have a new interpretation of what's going on. If you want to feel peace in that situation and you're angry and upset, you can't keep the upsetting thoughts and then feel peaceful about it. And we try to feel, it's funny, we try to feel peaceful about upsetting thoughts. I'm angry at you, and somehow or another, my being mad at you is going to give me peace. So the Course is saying the holy instant or the healing instant is the instant that any instant that you feel happy and that you feel peaceful. So whenever you are feeling joyful, peaceful, and happy and loving, you're having a holy instant. You're having a holy instant. So when the Course says holy instant, it's talking about a loving instant. Now, my greatest joy in teaching the Course in Miracles is to work out of the book and help people hear for the first time what the Course in Miracles is saying, because out of the many people who contact me, that's one of the things they appreciate the most is that I work out of the book, because that helps them work out of the book and get another perception of the book. And I believe that most of the things I say from A Course in Miracles from the book, many people have never heard until I actually read it, I actually say it. That's my experience. My experience is that most people either they read the Course in Miracles and don't remember what they read, or they never read it. So what they like about actually letting me share out of the book is, for many people, it's literally the first time they've ever heard what it's saying, and it's mind-blowing if they let themselves hear it. So let's start where we left off last time. And the Course in Miracles, we started out, I'm going to start with page 381, and I'm going to start with paragraph 5 on page 381 in the Course in Miracles text, the blue book in the Course in Miracles. We're in chapter 18, the passing of the dream. The passing of the dream, not to be confused with the passing of the gas.
I'm glad you made that distinction.
I had to make that distinction. Somebody wrote me about that. I had to.
Because I almost thought
Yes. So remember that you don't have to believe the ideas. You don't have to accept the ideas. You don't have to welcome the ideas. Some of the ideas you may actively resist. 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 I'm the divine repetition teacher. The Course in Miracles says more than anything else, repeat this, repeat this, repeat this, repeat this. Don't forget this, don't forget this. Remember this, remember this, remember this, remember this. Remember what? Remember that some of the ideas you may actively resist, some of the ideas you might find hard to accept and hard to believe. I hope I say some stuff that's hard for you to believe. I hope I say some stuff that startles you, especially you. Okay. And you're not asked to judge the ideas at all. I love how how Jesus of the Course in Miracles will say the most ridiculous things, right? Like for Jesus of the Course to say, you are not asked to judge at all. Now we know what is the first thing we're going to probably be tempted to do when I start sharing? Judge. We agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. But you're not being asked to. I love that. I'm not asking you to judge. I'm not saying, would y'all please judge? What I'm asking you to do is to use the ideas, because if you use the ideas, then the ideas will show you that the ideas are true. So the thoughts will show you that the thought is true. The thought will show you that the thought is true. Then the first sentence, and the whole Course in Miracles is in every part of the Course in Miracles. So if you start on page 381, and we start out with paragraph 5, and it says, do it really slow. So I hope you have your books. We're dealing with the blue book, the Foundation for Inner Peace book. And I'm going to go slow. And what is the first sentence? He says, the first sentence says, you merely ask the question, the answer is given. So you ask, the answer is given, and then what is your job? What is your job? Well, he says, well, your job is to not seek the answer. Stop continuing to look for answers, and I've just given you the answer. And Course in Miracles students, hello, Course in Miracles students, those who see themselves as Course in Miracles students, those who see yourselves as Course in Miracles students. The Course in Miracles was made for you. The Course in Miracles was made for you. Those who call yourself Course in Miracles students and see yourself as Course in Miracles students, and you say the Course in Miracles is your spiritual path, listen to me. The Course in Miracles was made for you, not necessarily your uncle, your cousin, your boss, your friends, your enemies. The Course in Miracles was made for you. Those of you who see the Course in Miracles as your spiritual path, what did I say?
Made for you.
It was made for you. It was made for you. Okay. So so stop looking for the answer. Stop looking for the answer. If you're a Course in Miracles student and you're wondering how you can have peace of mind and you're a Course in Miracles, this is the Course in Miracles. This is how you do it. If you're a Course in, now notice I say if you're a Course in Miracles student. Don't get me, I'm talking to Course in Miracles students or people who are interested. I want you to know, even though everybody is welcome to listen, I want you to know that your only job, what is your only job? Course in Miracles students, your only job is to accept the teachings of the Course in Miracles for yourself and apply it. Course in Miracles students, your job is to do what? accept this for yourself. Okay. Now, if I accepted that the Course in Miracles was my way to have complete bliss and happiness, and it was made just for me, and it's my individual path, do I need your validation? Do I need your understanding? And do I need your support, those who do not also share that purpose? No. As a matter of fact, the more I try to get my friends and relatives involved, I'm slowing myself down. The more you try to learn something new and believe something new and debate with other people who think the other way, the Course in Miracles says what you're doing is weakening your belief in what you're talking about, and they're weakening their belief in what they believe. Every time you try to convince somebody else about the way you believe, you weaken your belief, according to the Course. Then it says, if you use that idea, it will show you that it's true. So let me get this straight. First thing the Spirit has said to us is, ask the question. So whatever it is that you think you want, whatever it is that you think you need, whatever it is that you think you need, whatever it is you want to know, what do? Ask the question. You're given, watch this again, the answer is given. So stop seeking for the answer to do what? Merely to receive the answer that I've given you. Stop, because if I'm looking for the answer, I'm not using the answer, the truth that's been given me, because I'm still looking for it. So I'm not looking, so I'm not using it. So the Course then says, in preparing for the holy instant, in preparing for your peace, in preparing for your peace, in preparing for your happiness, don't attempt to make yourself happy to receive in order to receive happiness. Don't try to make yourself loving to be ready to receive love. Do not try to make yourself innocent to be ready to receive your innocence. Don't try to make yourself, the Course in Miracles says, stop trying to make yourself loving and peaceful to be ready to receive it. Because making you holy, making you innocent, making you happy is God's job.
Wow. It's pretty heavy. That's kind of my girlfriend.
A lot of people count on their girlfriend. That's why they're miserable. A lot of people might be counting on your girlfriend. You ain't maybe be the only one. Oops. That's right. That's right. I had somebody who wanted to sue me for course abuse one time. Who came to my class. That's right. This is abusive. And notice it said, take it slow, take it slow. I'll say it again. It's not your job to make you happy. It's not your job to make you rich. It's not your job to make you healed. It's not your job to make you whole. It is your Creator's job. It's God's job to heal you, to make you happy, to give you joy, to give you abundance. It's the universe that is its job, that is God's job, that is Spirit's job. So to solve your problems, that's not your job. That's why you haven't had consistent success. If we were so good at solving our problems, we wouldn't have any. Right? So you already know the result of everything being in your hands. You know what it means? Hold up a minute. Hold a minute. I'm going to have a period at the end to get in questions and discussion. All right? I'll say it again. Now, if you're a Course in Miracles student, the first thing that I want you to remember is your first job is to let yourself hear it without analyzing it. Let yourself hear the Course without analyzing it. Let yourself, if you are new to the Course, if you haven't read the whole book yet, the first thing you should do is say, I'm going to let myself hear this, knowing I don't have to believe it, don't have to accept it, don't have to welcome it. I might resist it. I might find it hard to believe. I might find it quite startling. So it's already told me that. And so what I need to do is hear it. That's why, you know, it's so important, because I found that, like, for instance, if you say this is your spiritual path and this is how you get in touch with God for yourself, then you have the answer. Your answer. Then it says, now stop trying to, if you think you need that help, then you need to stop being the one that's trying to do it because you've been unsuccessful. And if you honestly look at the result of you trying to solve your problems on your own, you would resign. The person who's honestly looking at their ego resigns from their ego. Now then what the Course says, another thing that we don't have to believe, which is that's God's job. To make yourself holy, to make yourself healed, to make yourself peaceful. The Course says that's the Creator's job. So atonement, what is atonement? The Course in Miracles definition of atonement is the undoing of guilt, the undoing of fear. So the atonement isn't, oh, I got to atone for what I did. It's like, no, as you undo guilt, as you undo separation, as you undo fear, you heal. So the atonement is the undoing of guilt. So it says it cannot come to those who think that they must first atone. So the healing cannot come to those who think they must first heal themselves. The healing cannot come to those who think they are to heal themselves. The Course in Miracles has something that's guaranteed to offend everyone. Whether it's New Age, New Thought people, conservatives, traditional thinking, I guarantee you, if you study this book, you're going to come up on your passage, your sentence, and the thing that's going to be the one that triggers you. That's your personal idol. And I love that about this book. Sooner or later, it's going to say something like, for instance, I bet you, some of you felt some resistance when I said, say you are not going to heal yourself, and if you try to heal yourself, that keeps you from being healed because your Creator who created you also is the one that heals you. Now remember, this is for Course in Miracles students. It's talking to us and those who want to be one, okay? Then it says, then who does the undoing come to? Who does the healing come to? He says, to those who offer the healing, nothing more than a simple willingness to make way for it. So who is it that can be healed? Who is it that can be helped? The person who makes way for receiving the help. So if you want to be helped in the situation you're in, listen to me now. If you want help in a situation that you think you're in right now, then you need to make way for it. You need to make way for what you want before you can have it. You have to make way for what you want before it can come to you. You have to make way for it for you to have it. And he's already said you don't try to make way for what you want by thinking you are the one that's got to create it by yourself. See, I'm glad that the Course is telling me why I'm not happy all the time, but sometimes. I'm glad to know that if I don't have what I want in my perception right now, according to this, all it means is that I've been trying to do it without God. I've been trying to do it without the higher power. I have been trying to come up with my own ideas of how this thing is going to be solved, and then I'm trying to solve it on my own. So it just told me people who do stuff like that, the Course in Miracles says, then those people cannot have their pain or their guilt or their unhappiness undone. But so if you want to have the healing, if you want to have the happiness, then do you know the Course tells us all you have to do is be willing to make way for it. Be willing to make way for it. And then what happens? He says, well, if you're willing to make way for it, you got to understand that your purification is only going to come from God. The undoing of the guilt and the anger and the fear and the sadness and the sickness and the real undoing of it, the Course says, can only come from the higher power. I'm a person who wants to believe in a higher power. I'm a person who wants to believe in God. I am a person who wants to believe I did not create myself and that I have a creator. I want to believe I didn't just show up on my own because somebody had some good or bad sex one night.
That must feel really good.
If it produced me, you know it was outstanding. My daddy smiled. Yes, he did. He smiled. I knew. I see it. Psychically, I could see it. I saw what happened the day I was born. You know we didn't come from here, right? I mean, deep down inside, come on, y'all. Deep down inside, ain't no way in the world there was a loving God that would put us in a world that anything can happen to us and those that we love. Come on. I don't care how much you say, well, we came here to learn lessons. Great, but if you came here to learn a lesson, be glad about it. The boy says, then stop complaining. If you came here to learn a lesson and you feel like no pain, no gain, you ought to be in ecstasy right now. If you think pain is benefits, you're in a world where people perceive, unless they are bliss ninnies. And bliss ninnies are those who are standing in the middle of the railroad track and the train is coming and they think if they put their hands over their eyes, the train won't hit them. Do you know people like that? They think being positive alone is enough. So no matter what happens, they never look at it completely because they think they're going to manifest something they've already manifested. That's why they look at that. You already manifested. You don't have to worry about, well, if I think this negative thought is going to manifest. No, you're already experiencing the result of the negative thoughts. You don't like the way you feel. Karma's paid off instantly. So then it says, now I've read this book at least 100 times, maybe more, much more. And the reason why I'm saying this is every time you go through the Course in Miracles and every time you read it, it becomes a brand new book revealing the truth at a brand new level. So 44 years later, I still get as excited or more about studying this book than I did when I first started because it continues to amaze me with what it's teaching. So, for instance, when it says purification is of God alone and therefore for you. So forgiveness is for you. Love is for you. Love is for you. Purification is for you. And so this is what do you do? Well, it says, rather than seek to prepare yourself for God, rather than trying to prepare yourself for love, rather than trying to prepare yourself, some people are trying to prepare themselves for God. They're trying to prepare themselves for love. Of course, the miracle says, I want you, if you're somebody that's always trying to prepare yourself, this is what I want you to do. There's a way I want you to think. Now, I'm a person who tries to prepare myself for God and prepare myself for love. Is there anybody else in this room that tends to try to prepare themselves? Okay, so what we were just told then, well, all that time and energy that you spend on trying to prepare yourself, why don't you just think this way? I'm going to give you a way to think. So what is the way to think? This is the way. Now, I'm going to do this in translation to make it even easier to understand. Because the Course is only ever talking about love or fear. So don't ever let the terminology throw you. It's only talking about love or fear. So this is the way you would read it. And this is the way it reads. And then I'm going to come back and read it again. It's going to trip you out. Or maybe not. Okay. I who am host to God am worthy of God. God who established God's dwelling place in me created it as God would have God's dwelling place be. It's not needful that I make it ready for God, but only that I do not interfere. It's needful only that I do not interfere with God's plan. It's only needful that I don't interfere with God's plan to restore to me. God's plan to restore to me. What is it that's God's plan to restore to me? My own awareness of my readiness. I need to be made aware that I'm ready, and my readiness is eternal. Take a breath. Now, I'd like for you all to repeat after me. I need to get jiggy with it. I need to get jiggy with it. All All right, you talking about a cult. Dig it with the cult. You know what I'm saying? I love it. The Course in Miracles says the biggest mistake we made was we forgot to laugh at this. It says you all forgot to laugh at the idea that you could be separate from God, that you could be separate from love. You forgot to laugh at it, and you're God, so you created a reality that reflects your fears. Because you're the one creating it. So I need to stop trying to make myself ready for love, and I need to be willing to make way for love. And the Course says, I need add nothing to God's plan. Say what? I need add nothing to God's plan. Do you mean that God isn't coming to me for advice? Yep, Purdy. The success of this mission depends on God not asking you for your advice. So we're gonna put you in the first class section. You chill out, we're gonna bring you some refreshments, and you let us take you there.
Oh.
But you know, I'm so crazy, I'll wake up and go, and I'm in the plane and go, let me fly this plane. That's us. Let me fly this plane. Or you will come up with every reason, not about you, but it's a possibility that you will come up with every reason in the world that justifies your anger and justifying you not forgiving. I bet you've done that before, and I have too, haven't you? Came up with all the reasons why you need to not forgive? Okay, so that's your plan. So the Course is saying to us that there's another plan, but to receive it, to receive the it, fill in the blank, to receive it, I must be willing not to substitute my own plan in place of God's. Now, do you want to receive that answer? The Course in Miracles says, okay, I'm going to tell you how to receive that answer. Stop substituting your plan. Stop substituting your plan for God's plan. What is your plan? Your plan is to prepare yourself and make yourself loving in order to receive love. Your plan is you got to make yourself smart. You got to make yourself peaceful. You got to make. He said, that's your plan, is that you're the one that has to fix everything and do everything. Right? That's why you're studying so hard. That's why you're reading so much. That's why you go to so many workshops and stuff, because you got to fix yourself. I got to fix myself. I got to fix myself. Something in me needs broken. Something in me is broken. Something in me needs to fix itself. Fix itself. I need to fix myself. And the Course in Miracles is saying to us, that's you interfering with your own healing. You're interfering with your own happiness. But your happiness is going to get to you anyway. It has no regards for your wishes. Do you know that the Course teaches the only part of you that God listens to, that the only part of a person that God listens to is God? That's so funny when you think about it. It's like he said, God doesn't listen to no voice, nothing you saying except God. So what's coming from love, what's coming from truth, what's coming from God. And I went, wow, that's deep. He said, because that's your real voice. Those are your real wishes. Your real wishes are the things that you want in love and joy and peace, right? Don't you want love and joy and peace? Don't you want love and joy and peace?
Yeah.
Can I get fiery sometimes? Is it okay? Do I get fiery permission?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right, okay. Just call me by my spiritual name. You know what my spiritual name is? And I want y'all to say it every now and then. Okay, you ready?
Right.
My spiritual name is Hot Sauce.
Wow.
Say, what's up, Hot Sauce? All right, all right, okay. That's what HS really stands for. We think it's Holy Spirit is for hot sauce. Because I'm not going to get too serious. I'm going to be sincere, but I refuse to get serious. Because being serious is how I got in the body that can be hurt in the first place. I went to the movie the other day, and it hurt for me to walk down the steps. And I wasn't doing anything. Just walking like I've done my whole life. But there's some parts of my body that are aging. And doing the Course in Miracles didn't stop that from happening. What doing the Course in Miracles did was explain to me why it was happening and the best way for me to look at it, if I'm willing to use it. Now, would you like to know the real reason why you feel any kind of pain in the body?
Yes.
Would you like to know the real reason why you feel any kind of pain or sickness in the body? Would you like to know the real reason and what pleasure? Would you like to learn the truth about pleasure?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? How many of you all like pleasure?
I do.
How many of you like physical pleasure?
Ooh, that's it.
And physical pleasure can be hiking, walking. It's not just sex. It's a physical pleasure, right? So I'm going to tell you the purpose of you wanting that ice cream cone. The real reason, okay, is to convince yourself that you are your bodies. Ow! That pain made me think I'm this body. I had a root canal that that really made me think I was a body. Not just a body, but a body with some bills. Okay, now you know the real reason for any pain or pleasure. It convinces you that you are the body. You give me a neck massage and I'm going, See, still, I'm this body. That neck massage felt so good. I am this body because I feel it. And it feels so good. Now, was that me telling you that your pleasure was sinful? No. Did I just say your pleasure was bad? No. I just said what the purpose of your pleasure is. That's all. To receive God's plan, I must be willing not to substitute my own in place of it. Okay, let's go back. Now, just change one simple word, love. Okay? I who am a host to love am worthy of love. Let's take that sentence. If you got love, you have love inside you, and so you're worthy of love. You have goodness inside you, and so you're worthy of goodness. You're worthy of goodness. You're worthy of goodness because there's goodness inside of you. You're worthy of love because there's love inside of you. There's love inside of you. You just oozing with love. You're a love oozer. That's the name of my book. So why are you worthy of love? Because you're the host to it. Imagine that I'm love and I'm a guest. And the Course says, love who established his dwelling place in you created it the way that he would have it be. I created you because I am in you. And so I created you the way I wanted you to be. Now I want you to hear that. The Course is saying, pretend this is God talking to us, okay? Using my chocolate black luscious body, okay? Let's pretend, okay? I created you the way I wanted you to be. I created you the way I wanted you to be, and I created you worthy of me. I created you the way I wanted you to be, and I created you worthy of me, you all. Love is saying to us, I created you the way I wanted you to be because I wanted you to be worthy of me. So I created you to be something that's worthy of me. Love says you are worthy of it. You're worthy of it. You're worthy of it. You're worthy of being loved. And the minute you start to value yourself, Do you know you won't put up with stuff that you used to put up with? I don't put up with stuff in my personal life that I used to put up with. I know I'm valuable, and I know I'm trying to be as loving as I can, and I know I want to be a blessing in anybody's life that I enter into, and that I don't consciously have any malice in my heart for anybody that I say I love and that I'm close to. So I'm worthy of love. You see what I mean? I'm worthy of love. I'm not trying to attack anybody else. I'm not trying to keep other people from being themselves. I'm not trying to correct anybody to make them be the way I want them to be. I'm not asking anybody in my life to be any different than they are right now. I'm looking for every opportunity I can to compliment them and tell them how much I appreciate them. I am worthy of being loved. Somebody out there would appreciate a man like me. And I refuse to accept any relationship that doesn't show me at least the kind of love that I'm showing. So it's easy to weed people out because I'm worthy of being loved. I'm worthy of being appreciated. And what created me that way. And you're worthy of being loved. And you're worthy of being happy. And you're worthy of being recognized. You are worthy. And then the court says, stop trying to make yourself ready for love. That's why I love to say that word love instead of God. Because I see people trying to make themselves ready for happiness. Then people ask me, well, what do you do? You said, well, what do you do is just what he just said. I want you to start trying to think like this. That's what you do. You know, because sometimes people, you know, can hear what the Course in Miracles is saying, and then at the end of it go, well, what do I do? And I'm like going, well, he just told you. You need to stop trying to make yourself ready for God, and you're interfering with God's will because you're trying to do it on your own and do it by yourself. You never will be able to make that perfect person, that perfect whatever it is, because anything that's perfect is not something that you need something different 5 minutes later. Or something that's perfect is not something that comes and goes. A perfect love doesn't come and go. Nothing that's real comes and goes. Nothing that's real is temporary. Nothing real is temporary. Everything that's real is permanent. Anything that's real is permanent. It's always there. You can always count on it. So the Course in Miracles is saying, I want you to think this way, that I don't have to make myself ready for love, but what I do need to do is not interfere. So what is a positive affirmation for a Course in Miracles student? A positive affirmation for a Course in Miracles student is, I do not interfere with God's plan. I do not interfere. I do not interfere in God's plan. Now, then people ask me, well, what is God's plan? What is the Creator's plan? What is God's plan? God's plan is for you to have restored to you your awareness that you're ready. You've lost awareness that you're ready to have what you want. You've lost the awareness that you're really ready to have what you want. You've lost the awareness that you're really ready. You're ready to have what you want. You're ready to have what you want. You're being made aware that you're finally ready to have what you want. You are finally, after all your trials and tribulations and lessons, you are finally ready to have what you want. But you need to be made aware that you're ready and that you will always be ready. 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 You will always be ready to have your awareness restored to you that you are ready. You're ready to realize you're ready. You're ready to realize you're ready. You are now ready. You're ready to receive the happy, loving, healing, peaceful instant. You have studied through millions of lifetimes in order to finally be ready to have an instant of happiness. That's hilarious. You guys might be up to one instant of not bitching and moaning about something. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. The Course says if you hear it correctly, you will laugh. And that's how I know when I'm not reading the Course correctly. And that's certainly how I know when people who are studying it are not reading it correctly. They're too damn sad. I'm too sad. to be seeing this correctly. That's why it's telling me, I want you to chill out, Earl. You can't pull this off. You're the reason why all this is going on. You need to chill and let me do something for you, because you're getting in your own way. And the first thing I need to make you aware of is your readiness, like he says, that you're ready, that you must have restored to your awareness that you're ready, and you're always ready. You need add nothing to love's plan. See, this, like people say, what do you do, Earl? You think this. Like she says, I need add nothing to love's plan, but to receive love's plan, I must be willing not to substitute my own plan. In place of love's plan, in place of God's plan, I must be willing not to substitute my own plan. I must be willing to not substitute my own plan. What is my plan? My plan is to prepare myself for what I'm wanting. My plan is I need to make myself a good person because I'm not a good person. My plan is I'm sinful and guilty, and I need to make myself and learn how to see myself as innocent and nice. See, my plan is that I'm the one that has to take care of handle my healing. And I'm the one that has to do it all, including make me have any kind of happiness and joy. I've got to come up with the way that that's going to happen. I have to even come up with what that is, and then I've got to come up with the way that I'm going to do it. He says, the Course is saying that you all are interfering. Your plans are interfering. What plan? The plan that you need to somehow or another make yourself holy and innocent, and then go to God. Make yourself a good person, then go to love. Because that's the way I've been doing it. I think I'm this unloving person who's going to learn how to be a loving person. And then when I learn how to be that loving person, then I'm ready for love. The Course is saying, look, y'all, you could be the worst scum on earth, and love would still love you and help you. Love doesn't require that you change in any kind of way in order for love to come to you. Somebody that loves you, they don't love you conditionally. Someone that really loves you doesn't love you conditionally. Someone that really loves you doesn't love you conditionally. Someone that really loves you doesn't love you conditionally. So God's plan is that you be loved and helped unconditionally, regardless of your morals, your behaviors, your sins, your gifts, or your crimes. Love would heal you, and love would come to you if you would make way for it, which is to focus on not substituting your plan for God. Then Course goes, okay, well, then people go, well, how do you do that? That's very easy. The way that you do it is to read, if the Course in Miracles is your path, to read the Course in Miracles and apply the workbook lessons. Read the Course in Miracles text, read the Course in Miracles manual for teachers, and then do the workbook lessons. And if you do the workbook lessons, you will get all of the peace and joy and happiness and healing that you want. That's being promised you because you didn't make up the Course in Miracles. So it's an answer you didn't think of, and because of something you didn't think of, it'll work. What's so funny when you think about it? Why is this plan guaranteed to work? Because you didn't think of it. Stand down, Corporal. That's what I'm hearing. Are you hearing that? It's like Spirit is saying, stand down. Act like I exist. Wow. Then it says, but to receive it, I must be willing not to substitute my own in place of it. And then the next sentence says, what does that? Who can tell me what the next sentence says? And that is all. Now, let me remind you. It said, rather than seek to prepare yourself for love, try to think this way. So if a Course in Miracles student wanted to get the healing that they're looking for and the resolution and the happiness and the love that they're looking for, then what they would be doing right now is trying to think this. You would be putting all your attention on, what do you mean? Me believing that I'm worthy of love. Me believing that I was created by love, so I only deserve love. I'm not going to try to make myself ready to receive any of you all's love. I'm retired. Earl Purdy is not trying to make anybody else love him, like him, do anything like that. Because that way I'm blocking the plan for Earl Purdy's joy and happiness, which is going to come from him not interfering by simply being willing to have God teach me how ready I am to have everything I've ever wanted. So to make way for everything you ever wanted, to make way for everything you've ever wanted, learn that right now what Spirit is doing to you in your life is that you're in that stage of your spiritual development. You're in that stage of your spiritual development where your awareness of how ready you are to be loved is made something that you're aware of. You are ready to be happy now. You are ready to be happy now. You are ready to be happy now. You are finally ready to be happy. You are finally ready. You are finally ready to be happy. You are finally ready to be happy. And there's a plan. The plan was to make you aware of your readiness to be happy. So right now, you're at a stage of spiritual development where you are becoming aware that you're ready to be loved, that you're ready to be treated right, that you're ready to be appreciated. You're at that point that you can actually let yourself be truly loved and appreciated for a whole instant. But all it takes is an instant. One instant of happiness will be so great you'll never let yourself settle for what you used to settle for. Okay. Take a breath with me. I'm finally ready to be happy. I'm finally ready to let myself have an instant of real happiness. I'm actually ready to let myself have an instant of real truth. We're actually ready to try to let ourselves have an instant of really real happiness and real joy. But I need to hear someone say that to me. You see why I'm repeating it, everyone? Everybody clear why I don't analyze in my classes? Because I know that analyzing the course is a trick of the ego to make sure you'll never get the course. I guarantee you, people who analyze the course will never get it, will never understand it. You cannot analyze a course in miracles. Do not analyze a course in miracles. I will never have a study group of any kind, so far as I know, where we'll sit around in a circle and everybody's listening, everybody give their interpretation of the course and analyzing what the course means. Because the course itself says don't do that. And that's how I know, one of the ways I know if a person's actually read the course and heard what it said. Because it says do not analyze the course. He says because when you break something down like that, it destroys the meaning of it. So, we seemed pretty damn serious there for a second, didn't it? It was like, if you like to share with me and make a financial expression of appreciation, I'm a full-time teacher. Thank you for doing that. Let me pass this around, brother. I thank you for doing that. The Course in Miracles says you'll be given what you need to stay. Some people will be sent to give it to you. Some people will be sent to show you how much you need forgiveness. He says that's the way it works. When you wake up spiritually, nobody's paying you. You give up the whole concept of you being paid, even if it looks like you get your money through a job or through a check. A conscious being knows that everything that they have is coming only from God. And they know that they'll be given everything that they need to stay. One form or another is going to come to you So when you really have faith in God, you'll never be afraid about finances or health or relationships or anything else. The reason why it's hard to stay conscious when someone tells you that is that I think it's because we're so used to trying to do everything ourselves that this will just sound like another really big task for me to try to pull off. I haven't really pulled off loving me the way I should, and I got to try to love you too. Sounds like a lot of work to me. So, guess what? Really just be yourself around me, okay? Just be who you are. You don't have to change for me. Okay? Is that cool? Yeah. Would that be okay to be around somebody that you can just be? Wouldn't that be nice? Okay? I really don't sound like it. But that's okay. You don't have to respond the way I want you to. I prefer if you did, but now, there's a part of me that wants to control everything. Would anybody else in here be willing to admit that there's a part of you that wants to control everything and everybody? That there's a part of you that does. Okay, all right, okay. You meet that out in the world as the people you meet that are trying to control you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's you meeting up with your own denied desire to control. Mm-hmm. So if you're online and you'd like to make a financial expression of appreciation, you can use my Venmo, the Cash App, PayPal, Zelle, Square. It sounds weird sometimes to be sharing so many different ways people can share with you. But then doesn't it make sense that people should be able to share with you many different ways? Mm-hmm. Right. So I'm just trying to practice spiritual principle here. You're right. And you can use my email address. It's earlpurdy@earlpurdy.com. earlpurdy@earlpurdy.com is my email address. And I would love to have a one-on-one session with you called a clarity session. And I'm also available for higher consciousness, opening up to who you really are, astrology and numerology, for people who have an interest in that. There are many ways. So go online to my website, www.earlpurdy.com, and you can self-book a session right from my website. If you're in the Denver area, please feel free to come in person at 1555 Race Street, here in Denver, 80206, 1 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time, 1 o'clock p.m. I am inviting everybody to watch my classes. I am especially wanting to be helpful to Course in Miracles students who really want to learn the Course in Miracles. You know, I'm so full. I have so much I want to share and get out the way to come through. But it's easier to teach someone who wants to hear what you got to say. You wouldn't have to take 5 minutes to convince your student. And you wouldn't spend 5 minutes to convince someone who really loves you. You know, when I experienced so much pain in different relationships in my life, they weren't made out of love. So I can forgive that person and myself. We were both fumbling around blindly in the dark. I've never experienced anybody consciously being able to physically practice unconditional love no matter what. I've never met a person like that. And if there's anybody in here that's actually met a person like that for real, let me know. Anybody here? So we're really going for a level of love that none of us have ever probably seen before. That in itself shows that we believe we're worth it. There's no reason for you to like yourself. Have you ever heard that part of you that tells you that? There's no reason for you to like yourself. You got this flaw, that flaw, and this other flaw. You shouldn't. And so what you going to do? Well, I got to fix that. I got to fix that. So then the minute I go, I got to fix it. And I started, the Spirit said today, well, that's you interfering. And that's why you can be given the healing to this situation instantly right now. You wonder why all your problems have not been solved and why they not solved, right? He said, I just told you that in this last class. This class right here, in case you want to know where's the answer to that. It told us exactly what we're doing to interfere with God, the Creator, giving us the solution and the answer to every problem that we think we have right now. Right now. All of your problems could be solved right now. Every problem that you think you have could be solved and is solved right now. I'm going to say that to you, even though it's kind of scary. Like, my mind is telling me all the reasons in the world why I shouldn't say that to you all. Mm-hmm. They're going to think you're crazy, or they're just going to zone out, or they don't want to hear that. But then there's this other part of me that knows that our job is to remind ourselves of the loving thoughts that we've forgotten. We wouldn't call that going off on a tangent. So you can also book an astrology and numerology session with me by going online too. All right, so YouTube and Facebook. My videos on YouTube and Facebook. So let's try something. Would you just relax and close your little eyes a minute, please? And I'm going to see if I can channel. And we're going to try this for the first time. We're going to see if we can do it. Y'all with me? We're going to see if we can. We are hosts to love, and we are worthy of love. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of love. Do you know that God moved inside of you? Don't you know that love moved inside of you? And love created you the way love be. You don't need to make yourself ready for God. You don't need to make yourself ready for love. You do not need to make yourself ready for God. You do not need to make yourself ready for love. You do not need to make yourself ready for God. You do not need to make yourself ready for God. You do not need to make yourself ready for love. You do not need to make yourself ready for love. You do not need to make. You do not need to make yourself ready for love. You do not need to make yourself ready for love. You don't need to make yourself ready for God. You don't need to make yourself ready for God. Stop trying to make yourself ready for love. Stop trying to make yourself ready for love. So what do? Don't interfere. Don't interfere. Do not 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 interfere with God's plan. What is love's plan? To restore to you your awareness. We got to restore to you your awareness. We have to restore your awareness to you. The higher powers are trying to restore your awareness to you. The higher powers, the Course in Miracles is trying to restore your own awareness to you. You need to have your own, your awareness of yourself restored to you. You need the awareness of yourself restored to you. You need the awareness of yourself restored to you. You need the awareness of yourself to be restored to you. You need the awareness that you're ready, that you're finally ready, that you're ready for love, that you're ready for love, that you're ready for safety, that you're ready for peace, that you're ready for safety, and ready for peace. The plan is to make you aware that you're ready for love, ready for peace, ready for joy, ready for wealth, ready for abundance, ready for fun. You need to be made aware that you are ready for love, ready for fun, ready for joy, ready for right relationship. You're ready for abundance, ready for wealth, ready for oneness, ready for forgiveness. You are ready for forgiveness. You're ready for forgiveness. You're ready for forgiveness. You don't have to make yourself, you don't have to already have forgiven yourself to be forgiven. You don't have to already have forgiven yourself to be forgiven. You just need to be made aware that you're already ready for peace, forgiveness, and love. I'm going to show my love to you by reminding you that you are worthy. You are worthy. Everybody listening to me, you are worthy. Everyone in this room, you are worthy. Everyone is worthy. Everyone is worthy of safety. Everyone's worthy of love. Everyone's worthy of happiness. Everyone is worthy. Everyone is worthy. And you are worthy. That means you are worthy. You are worthy already. You are already worthy. Stop trying to prepare yourself for God. You don't have to prepare yourself for love. You just have to not interfere by learning how to think this way. And to answer that question, what do? You learn how to think this way. You remind yourself of this. You read this. You study this. You meditate on it. This is how you make yourself aware of the readiness that will allow you to be given by God, given to you, your happiness and your healing to be given to you. You can't make yourself happy. You know you can't. You tried it over and over again, and the best you've been able to do is temporary joy, temporary happiness, temporary joy, temporary happiness. You don't know how to make yourself happy, but you could get out of the way. You could learn how to get out of the way so the love and the joy and the healing that you already have can be given you. That feels so good to come through my body, to let words like that come through my body, whether I believe it or not. That feels so good. You all feel so good. Now give me all your jewelry. Help me, God. God, I know you're there. I know you're out there. I know you're in here. Come on. Help me out.